We also have started fermenting their feed. We used to do this all the time and we stopped doing it. He just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I ended up putting him down. We're gonna start raising our own just because. So this is fermented feed. We did this 3 days ago. Good morning, I am Dustin Aleman. This is Aleman Family Homestead. Our hope for this channel is that you are able to pick up a tip, a trick, a golden nugget to help you on your homesteading journey. Couldn't go. If that is the case, please hit subscribe, give us a like, give us some feedback. Love the feedback. Appreciate all of you. Hey, we've got a lot of changes, lots of changes since the last time. I'm gonna go over that here in a minute. We've got had a sick pig we had to deal with. We figured out our egg problem. We got that fixed. So we've got a lot of changes here. So we're gonna get going with these pigs. I've got all their goodies. I've got some scraps for them, and then we've got apple cider vinegar, vitamin C, all their herbs. I'm gonna chat on that here in a minute. We also have started fermenting their feed. We used to do this all the time and we stopped doing it. Okay, so we had another sick pig last week. We separated it, I think on the last video or a couple videos ago. Put it in the high tunnel. We tried nursing it back. He just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I ended up putting him down. He was not well. I mean, he was getting to the point where the first pig was, and instead of just letting him fall asleep and suffer, we decided we just put him down. So two pigs down. Super frustrated. Nat and I are we are on the path to, we're gonna get a boar, we're gonna get a sow, we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna start raising our own just because, just super frustrating. I can't think of the words, but my hands are tied. I had no control over that situation when those piglets are born, and that just drives me nuts. So what have we been doing? We went back to basics years and years and years ago. We used to ferment all their feed. You put the feed in the bucket, you soak the feed, and then you put 2 to 3 inches above the feed, and then put a lid on it and let it sit for 3 days. So that's what we've been doing. So this is fermented feed. We did this 3 days ago. I've got 3 days worth of feed buckets in the garage, and we just, like today, I'll come back home, I'll fill this up, I'll get it wet, I'll you know, put the water above it, and then in 3 days we'll use this one. So that's what we're doing. We're doing everything we can. I just came out and gave them scraps. You can see they are starting to be pigs. They're over here eating, trying to eat as quickly as possible. I haven't even given them their grain. We started burning logs, so I'm gonna give them some charcoal. I've got apple cider vinegar, vitamin C, diatomaceous earth in here. We are just hammering these pigs with nutrients. They all look good. I hope we're over the hump, but we're just gonna jam these pigs with nutrients, and we can't afford to lose another one. We can't, I mean, we had 7, we're down to 5. We cannot afford to lose another one. So what's cool about the charcoal logs is if you leave them in here, they'll end up chewing on them anyways. But I'm gonna scrape charcoal into their feed. I'm gonna give them some vitamins. Diatomaceous earth is already mixed in to the feed. Okay. Okay, so I noticed I popped this top and there wasn't water above it. It was just drenched. There's a hole in this bucket. We've had these buckets for so long. I think we're going on like 6 years. There's a crack in this one, so not ideal. So note, you need a bucket that obviously doesn't have a hole, because you want to soak it, and then you need that water to sit a couple inches above the soaked feed, and that's how that fermentation process takes place when you secure the lid. Over 3 days, when you pop this thing, you see bubbles, it's bubbling, you can get that fermented smell. So this isn't ideal. We did soak it, but I don't think it fermented much. Tomorrow's batch will be much better. But anyhow, we're trying to do anything and everything in our power to make sure these pigs are healthy. All 5 of these look fine. They're out eating. We don't hear any coughing. That last one that I had to put down a couple days ago, he was the one that was coughing after we lost the first pig. I don't see any of that in the rest of these. We're hopeful that that we're done with that, and we'll just we've got 5 healthy pigs here. All right, so I'm gonna leave this log. You saw I scraped some charcoal in there, but I'll leave the log. They'll gnaw on that, and they'll get all that charcoal off. Then we've got a little fire pit. I just set it up in my driveway, and I'll start a quick fire, let it run for 5 to 10 minutes so we can get some logs charcoaled. We're just gonna feed that to them daily on top of everything else. Whew, it is getting chilly. There's a storm front moving in. I don't know if you guys can see, these clouds are moving in quick. It's cold. It's cold. It got cold. Okay, so pig down. I think we're good. We figured out, we saw the goose was getting in there into the chickshaw, and she's the culprit. She's the one that's been eating the eggs. So what we did is we extended this mesh on the opening, and there's a tiny little opening down here, tiny little opening, and I stood out here for a good 5-10 minutes and just made sure I put the biggest, fattest hens in there. And hey, guys, be Evelyn, use nice words, please. And made sure that she could get in and out, and she did. So we stood out here for 10 minutes, tested it. The goose tried to get in and she couldn't get in. So problem solved. Goose can't get in there, she can't eat the eggs, and the result was, we did this 2 days ago, and the result is no more eating eggs. We thought it was the chickens, it was the goose. The goose would go in, open the egg, and then of course when the egg fell on the ground, the chickens would grab it and run around. So that's all we saw, was a chicken running around with an egg. So it's not the chickens, it was the goose. Yesterday we had all dry eggs, no eaten eggs, no shells. We didn't have eggs with yolk all over the shell. I think we solved the problem. Heavy's feeding them those mealworms. They love it. These are like little treats for these chickens. So she's been doing really good. She's done a good job out here. Yeah, these ducks are messy. You see what they do to this water? I think we need to get it up. Why don't we get it up on this grate?
Yeah, look, they found the worms in the thing. I'm just gonna spread them. I usually put the worms in the water. So
I hope they were in there. What's that, ducks? Are they in the water?
The worms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I just dumped?
No. Oh. They ate all of them.
Okay.
They eat them fast.
We need to elevate this a little more. So the one thing I've heard about ducks is they're super, super messy with water, and obviously that's the case. Look at them. They're just going crazy on it. So I threw this little grate in there, which isn't ideal. It elevates it, I don't know, a ½ inch. Ideally we'd have, you know, like we've got out with the hens. We've got their water up on a pallet for this reason. I know we've got a makeshift, I made one. I know where it is. It's out by the chicken tractors. So I made like a makeshift pallet to place the water on. Maybe we'll go grab that and throw it in. It elevates it a little more. Yeah.
Also, sometimes you want to have a little pond. I had a little tray, but we used it for the sick pig. So it's drying out. That also can help with the case because they just like swimming in the water. So they try to get their feet and their hail in the water because they always like being wet.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so we had a little makeshift swimming pool in here. It was a kitty litter box, actually. Filled it full of water, and the ducks were in there swimming and dunking their head. And when we brought the sick pig in, we used it for water, for a water source, so the pig could drink it. So since that pig, we put the pig down a few days ago. I cleaned, I sprayed, I disinfected that thing, and then it's been outside, and I'm just letting the sun hit it and disinfect it even more. Again, we want I don't know what the pig had. I doubt it can jump species. I'm sure it can't impact the ducks. I don't want to mess around with it, right? So we're disinfecting it. Once the sun hits it for a few more days, we'll bring that in. Evie's right, that'll probably help. We'll set up a little water bath for these ducks so that they're jumping in there and actually using this for water. It's interesting because the goose does the same thing. The goose makes that water absolutely filthy. I think it's just in their nature. Look, they're grabbing dirt and putting it in that water. It's just these ducks and geese. It's just how they are. Chickens don't do that. Chickens don't do that. Chickens are just messy and they make the water messy, which is why we elevate the water with the pellet. So ducks are doing great. How many? We've lost 2, right, Evie?
Now we have 13.
Yep, so we lost 1 on the first day. That was just, it was sick when it got here.
And then I don't know if it got smushed by the water, if I accidentally put it on.
So the second one
got smushed by the ducks when they was trying to get water.
Yeah, so the second one got smushed when it was a baby. All right.
That one's really
good job, Evie. See how dirty this is? You're going to have to come out probably in a couple hours, right before nap time. Okay?
Yeah, I always do.
Okay. All right, so yep, we had the pig in here. We had we had this net set up, so we got to get this put away. We got to get all this put away. It was last minute. Putting that pig down was really last minute. We came out and it was not doing good. It started coughing up blood. It was horrible. We came out to try to drench it and it was spitting up blood and I was like, I'm done. So I went in and got the captive bolt and put it down. So not fun, but we're moving on here. So ducks are good. Turkeys hatched yesterday, so turkeys are coming. Bees have shipped, so we're gonna get the turkeys and the bees either today or tomorrow. So super excited about that. We are growing the farm this spring, and the cows, I still have the cows out here in our front yard, and they're still loving it. There's tons of grass out there. So this is day, let's see, this is day 4. So they've probably got 1 or 2 more days out there, and then we're gonna bring them over here and let them graze all of this and then all around the backside of our house. There's lots of grass over there. So we'll be able to have them in our front yard for a good couple of weeks. Okay, we're all done with the hens, the ducks, and the pigs. Just gonna go check on these cows real quick. They're all fat and happy. They look happy. They're good. They're mowing this down. This is exactly what I want. We want them to mow this whole area down. They're pooping. And we're gonna bring the hens behind them. Let the hens spread that manure and get after the all the fly larvae. These flies will come in, bury all their larvae. A couple days later, you've got flies. So if you can get the chickens in within a few days after they poop, they'll come in, they'll take care of the pest problem for you. It's pretty amazing. They've got this other water source out here. They have both. They have one in their corral, and then this one, you can see this one's freezing. I don't have a heater out here. This one has a little ice on the top here, but it shouldn't get that cold. It'll be fine. Cows just doing their thing. So we'll let them mow this whole thing down a couple more days. And we'll move them on. All right, it is cold. So we do have this cold front moving in. I'm gonna run out to the barn. So we had that black blanket in with the hogs, and when we moved the sick pig into the high tunnel, we brought that blanket with the pig. We just threw that thing away. I mean, the pig was laying on it, pooping on it. Again, didn't want to mess with contamination, so we threw that away. We had another blanket in the garage. We threw that in there. I'm gonna go grab a couple flakes of hay, throw that in with these piggies so they can get nice and warm and snuggled up in their little house, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so out at the barn, we knew these were moving blankets. Our moving company left them when we moved out here 6 years ago or whatever. They were in the barn. We knew we had them. We just couldn't remember where they were. These are nice thick blankets. So I'm gonna throw this in with these piggies and keep them warm. All right, so there we go. We got a couple blankets in there. We still have some hay, so they do a really good job. They'll just kind of make a little bed. They'll get nice and cozy, and then they all just kind of pile on each other. But those blankets will help keep warmth. All right, we are gonna call it a day today. As always, appreciate each and every one of you. Our hope for this channel is that you are able to pick up a tip, a trick, a golden nugget to help you on your homesteading journey, or if you're just checking us out on our journey, we would love for you to hit subscribe. Keep bringing those comments. Give us a like. Comments, feedback. Appreciate each and every one of you. We will catch you next time.